Beautiful shots, aerial views from El Camino Real Field in Woodland Hills, where it is very windy tonight as El Camino Real hosts the Chatsworth Chancellors in West Valley League action. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This is Paul Zabalik. Should be a very entertaining game, and it's a very important game in the West Valley, Paul. El Camino's coming off a big victory a week ago over Cleveland. Chatsworth is 1-1 in the league, and they still feel they'll be a factor in league play.
Absolutely, and what you're going to see tonight is an opportunity for El Camino to really expand its exposure in a lot of different areas and to try and really improve on last week and to really demonstrate to the conference that they're here to stay.
This is a good Chatsworth team. Overall, they're 5-2, and they're led by Tommy Ahn, who plays everywhere on the field for the Chancellors.
Yeah, Tommy Ahn is quite a talent, and as we've heard, he is clearly a very sincere young man, and he is able to identify these different kinds of opportunities on the field, and he plays everywhere on the field, and he's a skilled athlete, and he should probably do good things tonight.
Yeah, his head coach, Marvin Street, says he's the finest human being he's ever met. Troy Spellman may be the finest football player for El Camino Real, and like On, he's all over the field.
You know, exactly, and we've had this conversation, and Spellman being the athlete he is, has, again, a chance to demonstrate that skill tonight in different positions all over the field, and if he's able to get a break, you'll see explosive athletic ability.
Chatsworth 5-2. With champions back deep, Derek Howard and Troy Spellman for the Royals. Again, it's a very windy night, 15 miles an hour, but it'll swirl up to 25, perhaps 30 miles an hour. And we are underway in Woodland Hills. It's out of bounds, and the Royals are going to get excellent field position. And we'll take a look at the quarterback, Ryan Feinberg, the senior, who has thrown for 1,255 yards and 12 touchdowns this season and is hitting 66% of his passes. Ball placed at the 33-yard line. Paul, what do you want to see from this offense tonight from El Camino Real?
I'm looking forward to a breakout game for Feinberg. I think he's going to show that he really is the quarterback and the leader that everyone's talked about, and I think you're going to see some special things from him tonight.
Well, it is senior night, and he told us before the game he hopes to score 6 times. This is the freshman receiver, Cortez. Lost the ball. El Camino Real recovered it. It was Peffer that recovered it, number 6.
Cortez has to hold on to that ball. I mean, he had great breakaway speed, and he was in the open field, and the ball just popped out of his hands, and he's got to hold on to it tight.
Luke Peffer, a junior, wide receiver, and safety for ECR. At the right spot at the right time.
Big gain for Feinberg.
Key players for the Royals. You look at them, you've heard them discussed before. Of course, Dover on the outside, a tall, talented wide receiver. Bueno might play some quarterback tonight, and Armida comes off the bench and is an outstanding running back. Feinberg drifting backward with a flag down, and he's going to run upfield. Takes a big hit. But remember, that foul was behind the play. A fine tackle from Dumont, who got him down low.
Looks like a holding call.
10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Joe
71.
Aranda is our lead official. There's Ryan Feinberg. How about that promise? 6 touchdowns tonight. He wants to throw for 3 and run for 3.
Well, again, he does have the breakout speed, and if he gets that opportunity, as you just saw here, without the penalty, that would have been a good gain.
The foul takes it back to the Elko 40-yard line. First and 25. See what Feinberg and the Elko offense dials up. It's right into the middle of the front. Spellman has really no running room. Picked up just a couple.
Ran into the heart of that Chatsworth defense.
Spellman will do a lot of things tonight. He plays terrific defense. He's all over the field. He's great in their passing game. Terrific running back. In fact, you look at Spellman's numbers. He's rushed for 278 yards and a couple touchdowns. He's caught 27 balls. Only Dover's caught more with 28. So he's certainly in the mix. Jason Zabalek really loves to get him the ball.
And you can also know that he's possibly a potential quarterback threat as well.
Second down and 21 for the Royals of El Camino Real on senior night. Feinberg protected well. To the outside toward the El Camino bench. Wanted Peffer and missed him wide. Excellent secondary coverage from Darian Wells.
Yeah, they actually set up very well on the outside and was able to pick that receiver up from the line of scrimmage.
Looking at 3rd and 21. Because of that holding penalty, you're behind the chains, does not make it easy for the Elko offense against a very talented Chatsworth team.
That's been one of their problems all season is they get a big gain and unfortunately a penalty brings it back and they lose that momentum.
By the way, their junior varsity team tonight at El Camino set an all-time record. 59 points.
And those young men will be coming up to the varsity.
Yeah, they won 59-0 over Chatsworth. Feinberg dashing to the near side. Sidearm delivery to Peffer on that sideline. It goes down inside the 45 and thrown down by Wells.
Yeah, Peffer was wide open on the outside. That was the same play as last time that Feinberg overthrew.
It'll bring up a 4th down and about a dozen, and it is a little bit more manageable. Again, it's a swirling wind, and they're apparently going to go for it here.
Again, with the skill that Feinberg has with the throwing and the running, you can look at this field position and take that 4th down opportunity.
The size of Peffer makes him out to be a nice target for ECR. Luke 6'3", has grown 5, 6, 7 inches over the last year. He says he'll be 6'5" or 6'6" by next year when he's a senior. 4th down and a dozen. And they are indeed going for it. Feinberg deflected and caught by Bueno on the deflection. It was intended for Peffer and deflected to Bueno.
Well, that's the defensive tip drill that you just saw acted out by the offensive receivers. Both of them were in the area at the same time, and obviously the opportunity to pick it up and run with it.
Robin Bueno at the right place
At the right time. Again, that's usually a defensive drill. He was alert enough and had the skill set to be able to make the reception.
Keep in mind that came on 4th and 12 and they make the conversion. Royals in striking position. Play fake. Peffer near side. And Luke Peffer is certainly involved in the offense early.
Yeah, they're giving him a lot of opportunity to get open. They're giving him a lot of leeway, and they're throwing the ball very quickly. Feinberg's getting rid of it in quick time.
Well, that's a confidence builder for El Camino Real, overcoming a 1st and 25.
Exactly right. That's one of those advantage opportunities that you need to definitely take advantage of and not take it into the end zone.
Spellman in the backfield. He tries the left side. Chatsworth is strong in the middle of that front.
They are. They've got some very big size, and when you look at how they're able to manage that offensive line, they've got a definite height and weight advantage.
Ilmani made the tackle, 72. Suhan, Ilmani. Well, Elko's burned well over 5 minutes in this quarter in this drive. Chatsworth has not seen the football. El Camino taking the opening kickoff, trying to march the distance. Spellman again is rocked at the point of attack. Tremendous defensive play by Stephen Noah, the defensive end, number 22.
Yeah, Noah came in unblocked, and it's, you know, you can become an all-world player when that happens, and he definitely took advantage of that and made the play.
Oh, as a senior, sees the ball and gets to the ball, according to the coach, and we saw that, and we witnessed that right there. Well, it's 4th down and 2 to go.
I'm looking for some play action here by Feinberg.
.5:45 left opening quarter. Well, they've converted 1 4th down on the deflection to Bueno already on this drive. They pitch it back to Spellman. He's got running room. He's got a first down.
That's the pitch power offense that Coach Sabolic was talking about earlier tonight, and how they're going to use that, especially on short yardage. And as you notice, Feinberg wasn't at quarterback at that time.
Yeah,
Bueno was the quarterback.
Yeah, they bring Bueno for that package, and he is in at quarterback. Then they pitch it back. The power pitch to Spellman. Touchdown. Well, they'll give the line some credit. They blow him off the ball. And a TD for Troy Spellman. And for Troy on the year, his 3rd rushing TD. Excellent drive.
Yeah, again, that's that power offense. When you're down on short yardage, you get an opportunity to put 3 or 4 guys in a blocking scheme, and they opened the hole for Spellman.
Lorenzo, Chavez, Borrelli for the point after. Excellent start for the Royals. Spellman holds. It's a 7-0 game. Well, on senior night, it was a senior who scored the touchdown, and another senior who kicked it through, and Chavez Borrelli.
Yep. When you look at that again on replay, you'll see that there's just a giant gap off tackle, and that pitch power offense opens that. Spellman was able to just almost walk in.
Now, this is an excellent Chatsworth team, but they're going to be tested here. An early score for El Camino Real. Of course, obviously, El Camino Real is coached by Jason Zabala, turning the program around, excited about the progress, excited about where his team is during the West Valley League play after a win against Cleveland a week ago on this field. Chatsworth is coached by Marvin Street, who played at Chatsworth. So you have 2 coaches here that are coaching their alma mater, and that's great to see.
Absolutely. When you get that kind of a legacy built into the programs, it builds that trust and that continuity that you want to see in high school football.
Well, the wind didn't affect El Camino on that drive. They went right down the field running and throwing the ball. It's easier, obviously, to run it than throw it if the wind kicks up. That could be a factor. There's that short Borrelli Chavez kick. This is Tommy On, the man we profiled at the top of the show. Look out here with Tommy On. He is sensational. And down the sideline he goes. Tommy On is gone. And the Chatsworth side explodes. A kickoff return for Tommy On and a TD.
Well, again, we talked about Tommy On in the pregame, and he is that athlete that can explode, and he just demonstrated that. The kick was intentionally kicked on the ground to keep it away from him.
I don't know. I've done a lot of games over the years, and I don't know if I've ever had a game where the 2 players we profiled scored on their first possessions. Spellman, it took a couple handles of the ball, but he finally got it in the end zone. Tommy On did it immediately.
He had the open field, and he demonstrated his skill and his speed down the sideline.
Jaden Grossman, the senior kicker, is on for Chatsworth. He's already made a play on defense from his defensive end position. He also plays tight end on offense. So Jaden's another versatile player for the Chancellors. Looking to tie it at 7-6 ECR. And a very exciting first quarter, and a flag is out.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. By air penalty. We play PAT.
And at this level, 5 yards can be critical. These extra points are not a given in prep football.
Anytime you've got to do a special teams play, it's always some risk attached.
Grossman is a big kid, 6'3", 220 pounds, kicking it. And he's been good for Chatsworth all season long. Looking to tie the ball game. Just under 5 minutes to play opening quarter, and he's got enough leg into it. But he hit it wide to the right. And so the PAT is no good, and it remains 7-6 El Camino Real.
Again, when you have that kind of situation, you always have a risk of the kick being blocked or that it goes wide one direction or another.
Let's go back to that return from Tommy On.
And now you see On, he's going to be able to cut outside. He sees the opening down the sideline, and he's off, and he's not going to be caught from behind.
82-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for Tommy On.
Great speed and athletic ability.
El Camino's turn. Well, we expected a higher scoring game a week ago against Cleveland. It ended up being a 24-14 game. Tonight we thought it might be a little lower scoring. We didn't know for sure. Two teams have had it once apiece, and the two stars have scored.
Well, El Camino has always had some difficulty with special teams this season. They're still working on improving it. But you saw again what happens when the breakdown occurs on one side of the field.
Has to be so uplifting for Chatsworth to give up an early score and get it back immediately like that and see their star break the big play, the home run.
And that's who they look to for that to happen.
The Grossman kickoff again is short and out of bounds. So that's twice they've given up a lot of field position on those very short kicks.
Well, there seems to be a tendency on some of these kickoffs now to kick the ball on the ground and hope that it takes that funny bounce and that it hits a player and then recovered by the kicking team. And the ball's live after it goes 10 yards.
Of course, we're working with the coach, Paul Zabalik, who has coached everywhere, Polytechnic, where he played football before he started at the University of Washington, coached at Manual Arts, Occidental College, North Hollywood High, L.A. Pierce College, Chaminade, Kennedy,
5-yard penalty.
Granada Hills.
On the kickoff, we'll start at the 40.
Where haven't you coached as we take a look at our officiating crew led by Joe Aranda? You've been around.
Yeah, that's because I'm old.
You're not that old. You got a few years in front of you. There's Feinberg. Ryan Feinberg guided his team to a touchdown, converting 2 fourth-down plays on that opening drive. Spellman for 3.
It seems as if they're testing that inside of that Chatsworth defensive line, and they're still running from the RPO offense rather than running from the power pitch, where they're able to get 2 or 3 other blockers into the play.
Approaching 4.5 minutes remaining, opening quarter. See if Ryan Feinberg elects to go up top. Content again to give it to Spellman, and he's going to get hurled back and loses yardage. That was a terrific play from the Chatsworth front once again, led by Matthew Sarcino. He can play linebacker or defensive tackle, number 40, and he's an active player for the Chancellors.
And Grossman was also involved in that play as well.
Bring up 3rd down and 10.
He was actually tackled by a host of Chatsworth Chancellors.
Well, they're able to convert in that first series and go the distance. This is not an easy one at 3rd and 10. See if he goes for Cameron Dover, his angular wide receiver who's out on the flanks, number 4. Pass near side, has an open target. First down yardage easily for Dorian Jefferson, another senior.
Yeah, they're giving them a lot of space right now to be open in that secondary, and It's amazing how they're able to capitalize on that, especially on a big third down play.
That's been the story of the opening quarter. Dorian Jefferson, you'll meet him at halftime. We're going to meet all the 18 seniors. Jason Zabalik's going to interview his 18 senior players as we take a look at this Jefferson catch and run and first down.
As you can see, there's nobody around him. He was wide open. They're collapsed inside for the run, so they're giving that flat open coverage.
Dover down the sideline. First down yardage again.
Again, a very talented receiver in Dover, and if he gets into the open field, he's going to show his speed.
There is a flag at the 35-yard line of Chatsworth. So it appears to be going against El Camino Real.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down. 19.
Again, that's what happens when you get the big play. This has been haunting El Camino all season, where they have a penalty and it's brought back and it nullifies that big gain. Now they're second, first and 20, and basically starting again from a deep hole.
Ball directly on the 50-yard line. Feinberg to the sideline, gets the play, and he's going to come back into that open huddle and relay the message and play to his teammates. With Paul Zabalik, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. This is El Camino Field in Woodland Hills on the campus of El Camino Real High School. First and 18. They're pounding the middle. That's obviously a ploy. And of course, the workhorse is Spellman, and once again, he ran into number 40, Matthew Sarcino.
Well, they're giving you the three-man front that Chatsworth is showing, which invites an inside run because it shows that the linebackers have to come up and fill. And they had done that on previous plays, but if they're going to open it up like they have been, it's going to cause the linebackers to hesitate, so they may be able to gain some yardage.
Approaching 2 minutes left in the first quarter, Chatsworth has not run a play from scrimmage offensively. Remember, their one possession was a kickoff return of 82 yards and a touchdown for Tommy On. Second and 13. Little option, and it opens up. Feinberg's on his way. Touchdown, El Camino Real. Big plays in the opening quarter.
That's what we talked about. Feinberg has that opportunity. If he gets the chance to run the ball, he can break away. He's got the speed and the quickness to get there, and he just demonstrated that.
El Camino's offense is impressive so far in this West Valley League matchup. Jason Zabalik pleased with that occurrence. He's a pretty good interviewer. We're going to see him interview all those seniors at halftime. Kick is accurate, and it's a 14-6 lead for El Camino Real in a very entertaining first quarter.
Well, again, time of possession can be really important here, and as you can see, El Camino controls the ball, controls the line of scrimmage, and has the big play with Feinberg scoring.
Paul, they've been able to overcome the penalty so far.
And let's look at that as a positive step for them, not to be able to make those mistakes and keep that offensive drive alive.
Will they kick it to Tommy On this time? That's an interesting story in itself.
I know I can't answer that.
Well, Chavez Borrelli has it teed up. Again, El Camino Real has two excellent kickers. Chavez Borrelli from Heritage Christian. He transferred from there. He's the senior, also will play soccer. And Asa Johnson is a junior kicker they like and has played a lot of football already here at El Camino High School.
I'm hoping that he kicks deep here now. There he goes.
Right to Tommy On, who muffs it for the moment. He's dangerous, as we all know. There he goes again. Tommy On his way. Tommy On is 2 for 2. 2 touches, 2 long touchdowns. What a show from Tommy On.
It's almost speechless to be able to look at that and back-to-back kickoff returns. Even after he's able to drop the ball, he's still able to pick it up and have the clear path to take off and score.
A lot of times, on-rushing defenders on those kick teams will freeze when the kick is muffed. And they froze, and they opened up beautifully for Tommy On.
Well, again, we talked about special teams and that El Camino has had a challenge with that all season, and it's demonstrated tonight when you get an athlete like Tommy On and he's able to just open it up, and he's never going to be caught from behind.
Chatsworth missed the first PAT. They won't chase points. They do not go for 2, and this kick is good. So it's a 14-13 game.
That's almost a heartbreaker. That's stunning when you see that kind of an athlete.
So how about 82 the first time and 90 the second time? I don't know that I've ever done a game where guys brought 2 back in the same 2 touches, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
This could be a record we're just observing tonight with that.
Well, the night is young.
Yes.
It is fun to watch. And there was no doubt once he broke containment at the 35, he was gone.
What was interesting is when you saw him scope the field when he was picking up the ball, he wasn't looking at the ball, he was looking at the field.
Well, he's a better than 4.0 student. Again, they kick it out of bounds and give ECR some pretty good field position.
See, again, I don't understand why Chatsworth is doing that, unless they're concerned with the run threat. But they're giving up 35 yards every time they kick it like that.
Now, we're probably going to go through this first quarter with El Camino possessing the football the whole quarter. We have not seen the offense yet of Chatsworth.
Again, that is remarkable in itself.
And it's not like it's a 15 or 20 play drive from El Camino Real that wiped out the clock. It's just the Tommy On show with the 2 kickoff returns. Paul Zabalix alongside. I'm Randy Rosenblum. Thrilled you're with us on LA36 for El Camino Real football on senior night, and the ladies are enjoying it on the sideline. Bueno is in the backfield as a blocking back, number 8. He's their quarterback when they're down inside the 10 on the short yardage. Again, they try that middle. They're just softening up inside.
Yeah, they'll keep testing that middle as long as you see the three-man front that Chatsworth is showing, and when they do tighten that up and the linebackers start cheating up, they'll start throwing the ball in the flat again.
That's Colin Ermita who carried the junior. He's a change-up, dynamic in space, change-up in terms of Spellman, different type of running back. Ermita's had some success. In fact, he caught a touchdown last week from Ryan Feinberg against Cleveland in the win. Inside of a minute to play, opening quarter, 14-13 El Camino Real. West Valley League football tonight on LA36. Feinberg threw that one behind Jefferson.
Yeah, Feinberg hesitated on that. He actually had a whole alley to run if he decided to keep the ball. But he obviously threw it and a little behind the runner and the receiver.
It was executed perfectly, the run-pass option, but he elected to throw it, and you're right. Hindsight is always 20/20, but the proper read there would have been to tuck it and go.
And again, you saw Feinberg's speed when he had that opportunity and he broke away.
Well, maybe he's pacing himself because he knows he's going to get at least 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 throwing touchdowns. Remember, he said he's going to score 6 touchdowns tonight.
So he's got 5 more to go.
Final 34 seconds of the opening quarter. Ermita in the backfield with Feinberg. Deep throw. Tapped away at the last moment, intended for Dover. That's just great secondary coverage, and give all the credit in the world to Rayshawn Tillman, the junior. The safety came over there and knocked it out of harm's way.
Yeah, they had double coverage on Dover, and they saw that that Feinberg was going deep, and obviously the free safety was able to slide over and tip that ball.
Tommy Ahn will be back to return the punt from Chavez Borrelli. Now, if I'm El Camino, I angle this one away from number 1. There's no reason to kick it to this guy.
It would be remarkable if you saw him return this now.
Secondary coverage excellent from the Chancellors. Chatsworth jumped offside. Were they drawn?
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They were.
Problematic special team.
The bigger problem is Tommy Ahn. Tommy standing right around the 30-yard line of the Chancellors. High snap. Chavez Borrelli in trouble. Chatsworth gets a turnover on downs. Chavez Borrelli had no chance.
Special teams mistakes. Again, when you look at how that ball was snapped, it was over his head. It has reminiscence of the early part of the season when they were snapping it. Just goes way over his head. Not sure what was the thoughts in the center's mind to do that.
Made it easy for Dumont to make the stop, and Chatsworth takes over. First look at their offense. Quarterback is Nicholas Gutierrez, a senior. He's a game manager, leader. There's their key players. We all know about Ahn already. Gomez, a terrific wide receiver. So is Lopez. Coming out of the backfield, he can catch the ball. So they start at the 10. And here's Tommy Ahn.
Yeah,
Could be the final play of the first quarter.
Chatsworth is running the pitch power offense and just giving Ahn an opportunity to look for the hole, and he'll be able to at least see what the offensive line is doing. As I said, they've got some big size in those young men, and Alcazar, number 77.
That's the end of the opening quarter. El Camino Real has a 14-13 lead, but Chatsworth is inside the Royals' 10-yard line. What surprised you about that first quarter?
Tommy Ahn didn't surprise me at all. If you give that young man an opening, he's going to demonstrate his ability. I mean, I'm disappointed and surprised to see that El Camino special teams couldn't recover from that the second time. But again, you're dealing with a great athlete in Tommy Ahn, and he's going to take advantage of that opportunity.
It's not even a full moon, so the special team has no excuse. You know what's interesting here? I don't understand, and I've seen this at all levels. Why kick it to him? I mean, keep the football away from Tommy Ahn.
Well, you look at the option. They've got one person back there, and they can squib kick it, and that's the only way you're going to keep it away from that kind of a breakaway threat. But it's, again, the skill set of the kicker to squib it and keep it underneath the returner. And it's always a challenge to do that. And again, special teams is a real challenge for El Camino.
On the flip side, the El Camino offense was very good. And the El Camino student body is really into it. Very colorful tonight on senior night. Big crowds all season long in Woodland Hills. Ball's between the 6 and 7 yard line, and that big offensive line.
Robert Garcia and Singh.
Yeah, Mo Singh, 79, the senior, is outstanding up front, paired with Steve Alcazar. Trying to punch in another score. They're waiting for him this time.
Yeah, the linebackers came up and they were able to make the play, and Ahn didn't get a chance to get started.
Well, it's 3rd down and goal.
It's a big play for El Camino if they can hold. But Chatsworth clearly has the offensive line advantage, the size and the ability to move people off the ball.
Gutierrez is a great golfer. His quarterback, he's a heralded golfer on the Chatsworth team. And that's his number one sport. If you ask him about which sport does he love, he'll first and foremost tell you golfing. On up the middle. He's close. It's going to bring up a fourth down, but hard-working Tommy on, trying to deliver the goods again.
He had a first down.
Yeah, he did get enough for the first down, didn't he? It's first and goal. So they were able to get the first down as he's got that ball almost nudged up against the goal line.
You look for a quarterback sneak here.
Well, Gutierrez is 5'8" and 160 pounds. See if he can wedge forward and maybe score. Yep, there's the sneak. There's the touchdown.
And he's behind a 280-pound center.
Well, turning the ball over on the poor snap inside your 20-yard line will cost you, and it's Chatsworth that's taken the lead, 19-14.
If you look at and analyze that first half in the first quarter, 3 special teams errors caused them to score those points.
Adrian Jimenez, the left-footed kicker, he boots it, and that one is wide left. So each kicker's missed one for Chatsworth, but they have the lead. Let's go back to the quarterback sneak for the Nicholas Gutierrez touchdown.
Just a power up front.
Well, Chatsworth with 19 points on the board.
All special teams related.
Yep. They've only had 5 or 6 snaps from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's, when you make those kinds of mistakes, there's very difficult time to fix it.
Chatsworth, they told you they were 5-2. Their coach Marvin Street believes they should be 7-0. They have wins over Grant, Verdugo Hills, Poly, and North Hollywood, all East Valley League teams. Then they have a win over Taft in West Valley League action. Their 2 losses out of league to Heritage Christian, 19-7, and then the Granada Hills game, which was 36-19, but very close late in the game.
Well, Granada Hills has the same kind of offense that usually runs the ball in a Delaware wing T, and Chatsworth wasn't able to stop that.
We also have DeJohn Stanley, who's one of the great running backs in the city section. Short kick taken by ECR, by Jefferson, and he's to the 42-yard line.
It's interesting to see how both teams are just squib kicking it on the kickoff returns.
This puts a lot of pressure on your offense at El Camino Real. I mean, you look up, you've played well, you've scored twice, you've moved the football, and you're still trailing. Somewhat of a shootout early because of the explosions that we've seen from Tommy on, and it's on the shoulders now of Ryan Feinberg.
Well, again, Chatsworth is running their 3-man front, and they're going to test them inside, but they're also linebackers are cheating up.
Chatsworth takes a timeout. That gives us some time to remind you that at halftime, Coach Jason Zabalik of El Camino Real interviews his seniors. Get to meet all the seniors, and very grateful for playing at El Camino High School. It's a very intriguing piece on all the veterans who've performed here for this Royals team.
And it's interesting when you look at those seniors, many of them out of the 18, maybe half of them never played football before. This is their first year of football, and they're getting the real experience. And unfortunately, they don't have another 2 years to come back and play and benefit from this.
Well, it's a warm night. We expected it to be cooler, but the Santa Ana winds blew here in the West Valley all day, and it's a delightful night. It's windy but warm. It's nice.
I agree with you, Randy. I didn't have to put my winter coat on.
Yeah, I have like 3 coats with me, and Don't need him. Could go without a sweater right now. Well, El Camino Real's offense is out there. Right up the middle, Ermita.
Again, he was just stopped very, very quickly. Again, even though he made about 3 or 4 yards, he's got to be able to make that cut on that RPO option and look towards the outside off tackle rather than keeping it between the guards. He's got to cut out a little outside, and he'll break away.
And El Camino has the luxury of 2 fine running backs in Troy Spellman and Colin Ermita. Dover deployed to the left side, and he's got great size. He's caught 4 touchdowns this year for El Camino Real. In the slot on the left is Rafa Cortez, an exciting freshman prospect. That's Cortez in motion. Ermita on the quick pitch. This did not fool Chatsworth. Christian Dumont out of the secondary, number 5, has been in on 3 or 4 tackles already tonight.
Yeah, that wide handoff pitch play, call it what you want, is a play that didn't work last week against Cleveland either, and they were able to pick it up very quickly, and it was a big loss.
El Camino's been dynamic on 3rd and 4th and long, and they're behind the chains again, looking at 3rd and 11.
It's going to be a passing situation here, and it's going to determine whether or not those receivers are going to be able to go that 11 yards that they need, get across the sticks.
Four on the flanks for Feinberg. Deflected and incomplete. Wanted Bueno on a slant pattern. Now it's 4th and 11.
Yeah, Bueno was open, and it was the old hurt footsteps, and he took his eye off the ball, and he was wide open.
Punting unit is on for El Camino Real, I would imagine.
This is always an interesting situation with the special teams.
Well, I don't know that they're kicking it. Feinberg stays out there. They started to send him out there, and now they're going to roll the dice on 4th and 11.
Feinberg will quick kick it is what I'm thinking here.
Yep, that's what he does. It's a favorable roll, and it's down by Cameron Dover at the 24.
Yeah, the ball looked like it was ready to roll a little more, but Dover was excited and picked it up.
You know, I was doing a Cal Lutheran game a couple weeks ago, and they were playing another opponent that was going for it on 4th and 10 and 4th and 11 at that part of the field. So it's a different football mentality nowadays, so you never really know. And it keeps the defense honest when you punt it away like that. That's another tool in Feinberg's bag.
If you have a skilled kicker, then obviously it's not a real risk situation. But again, it's always problematic when you snap the ball over the kicker's head.
That other team, by the way, was Pomona Pitzer, who was playing against Cal Lutheran. They went for it down at their 20, 25-yard line. And a couple times they made it, but a few times they did. And eventually Cal Lutheran blew them out because they had such great field position. That's really rolling the dice. And El Camino electing to punt it. Tommy on. What a great move to the outside. Tommy on. Putting on quite a show here in the first half.
He is the talented athlete that you talked about in the pregame, and he's clearly demonstrating that every time he touches the ball. He's a real threat.
15 yards on that dash.
You saw him do that quick step, cut out to the right side down the sideline, and he was able to gain 15 yards when it didn't look like he was going to get anything.
Fun to watch a player like that who does so many things. We see it on El Camino's side with Troy Spellman. Well, Tommy on does that for the Chancellors. El Camino 1-2 at home this year, trying to level that record. One win in league last week, 24-14 over Cleveland. Timeout taken by Chatsworth. They were slow out of the huddle, weren't on the same page. So Coach Marvin Street wants to bring him to the sideline and talk about it. You know, it's possible that El Camino could end up in the playoffs in Division I. Obviously, they're not going to entertain thoughts they can't make the top 8, and that's the open division. And there's a team, Franklin, that's 6-1. And the reason I bring up Franklin, that could be a potential opponent for either one of these two teams. And they had a player last week, Hector Ceballos, playing against Eagle Rock. This junior wide receiver caught 27 passes in one game, 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. We've heard of that. But 27 receptions is a city record, one off the state record of Jake Mulhard of 28 from Camarillo. But 27 receptions in one game for Ceballos.
No adjustments made on double coverage on that receiver.
Yeah, Eagle Rock needs to do a lot of things. But it's funny because I was talking with your son, Jason Zabak, the coach here at El Camino, before the game. He thinks there's a possibility they could play them down the road. Well, he better get a beat on Ceballos when they do, and their quarterback Diaz, along with Feinberger, the 2 leading passers in the LA City section. That would be quite an aerial show. No suspense where the ball is headed. It's
on to Tommy on.
Yep, with a head of steam, gets a couple. Makes it easy to call the game, doesn't he? He does everything. It's always one. 10 minutes to play in the half. No, it's 8 minutes. The clock I'm looking at up on the scoreboard, a little bit different. They just adjusted it, yeah.
Right. Well, that front offensive line for Chatsworth with Singh, Garcia, and with Alcazar, you've got average of 270 pounds, and that is just a very large offensive line.
By the way, this is a big possession defensively for El Camino. They've really had, you know, in a way they've dominated this half, but yet they're losing. They're trailing. And now they're out there and they see Chatsworth starting to move down the field. Here's a probable delay of game.
That's the big play will do that. And again, it keeps the team in the game.
5-yard penalty, second down.
It's those kickoff returns. But my point here is El Camino, you know, you feel like they're ahead, but they're not because of the terrific play of On. This becomes really, I think, an important defensive time for ECR.
Yeah, they've got to make a stop here and get the ball back and score again before the half.
Gutierrez back on. He's got the play from the sideline after the delay. Second down and 13.
This should be a throwing down for them. We haven't seen them throw it.
They pitch it to On. Flag is out, and he's twisted down in the backfield. Loss of yardage. Probable holding call.
Yes.
Holding. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
So if El Camino can contain On if he gets the ball, but I would suspect that Chatsworth is going to try to throw it here and see if On can get in the open, maybe into the flat.
Well, at some point you fake to On and use a little play action and go elsewhere.
That's a possibility.
Try to bait that defense. Quick pitch again to On. Met by Spellman, and down he goes.
Yeah, Spellman's all over the field again, offensively and defensively for El Camino, and he may be keying on They may now start to it's called spying, and wherever you see On, you're going to see Spellman. Athlete against athlete. Big play here for El Camino.
3rd and 31. You got a play for that?
we used to, in the old days, we used to call it throw and hope.
Yeah, you don't just want to pick up a penalty defensively. That's give them the first down, but
keep it underneath. You want to keep the receiver in front of you.
Keep it shallow. Gutierrez has not thrown the ball yet.
Well, I suspect he's going to try to do that here, or try to do some form of razzle-dazzle play, as we used to call it in the old days again.
Yeah, very slow to develop play. This has been an ugly sequence for Chatsworth offensively. Another delay.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So they've had 2 delays and a holding foul on this drive.
In the past, El Camino has had a problem with third down and long. They made mistakes and have allowed the team to recover and get the first down. They should be able to now keep the receivers in front of them. If On gets the ball, before the whistle blew, On was getting a handoff. So I don't know what the intent is other than to play it safe.
They need 36. On right up the middle, has a nice hole, gets a nice chunk there, obviously well short of the necessary yardage. That defense knowing it's going to come to On, and Christopher Flores made the tackle.
So El Camino should get good field position here and again take advantage of that and score before the half.
Grossman will punt. Back deep is Derek Howard, one of the seniors you'll meet at halftime, which is 5 minutes away.
His younger brother Devin is coming up. He's a junior. And they have a third brother on the JV team.
Terrific punt. Howard retreats to his 42. One dance step is very pretty. Still running laterally, does a nice job. He gets about 5 or 6 yards.
So they're at midfield, and again, they should be able to generate a drive here to put some points on the board.
Plenty of time, 4.5 minutes. There's Derek Howard. Another flag, apparently.
So much for field position.
Return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, this will make it a little bit more difficult for ECR. Still have plenty of time. But it's got to be disappointing for the Royals to be behind in a game where they've controlled the clock, had a couple sustained drives, and have not been able to stop Tamian on kick returns. And because of it, they're behind in this football game.
So they've got plenty of time in the half here to make a difference.
Feinberg to the air. Jefferson with a great catch. He's to the 45-yard line of Chatsworth.
Again, he had a cushion of about 5 to 6 yards off the defender, and was wide open, and Feinberg saw it and made the completion.
Dorian's a transfer from Birmingham, who El Camino Real will play in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. They're starting to pressure Feinberg now. They're bringing the linebackers in from the left side.
4 minutes to play in the opening half. Spellman with a beautiful run.
Yeah, the linebacker Lopez started the blitz and started to come outside, and he saw that the run and couldn't recover it, and Spellman was able to gain the yardage.
Picked up 9 before Sarcino dropped him. Very impressive start to this drive. Second down in the yard. Of course, what you want to do is you want to work the clock down all the way down and score right before half and not allow Chatsworth to come back down the field. Dover breaking tackles. First down.
He was one step away from breaking that. He just was stepping out of bounds, and he could have busted that open. Again, quick speed, you'll see that if he gets that open field opportunity.
Royals have it at the 25-yard line of the Chancellors.
They're systematically working their offense down the field. If they just cannot make mistakes and not hold, they should be able to sustain the drive.
The wind has retreated. It's died down. It's delightful. There's some breeze, but not much right now. It will not affect the play at all. We had wind gusts of 25 or 30 miles an hour right before this game started. There's a timeout on the field. El Camino trying to get the lead back. They're trailing 19-14 as Feinberg talks with his coaching staff.
Yeah, Coach Sabalik wanted to settle them down because he saw that they were starting to see a different look on the defense, and so he calls the timeout to just have them all take a breath and just settle down a little bit.
Of course, the one thing, if you're El Camino, you don't want to settle for three here. You want to put that ball in the end zone and take the lead. Chatsworth on the other side, even though they know that El Camino's got a good kicking game, if they can limit ECR to a field goal attempt, that would be a win for Chatsworth.
Well, my guess is that El Camino is going to just keep it. If they get into the red zone, they're going to just keep trying to keep it on the ground and get it into the end zone. They're moving it offensively, and as far as the run game is concerned, they've figured out a way to block those three down linemen pretty well.
First down, 25-yard line of Chatsworth. Dover drew a crowd.
They blitzed that outside linebacker, and Feinberg had to get rid of the ball very quickly. It was almost like a check-off pass. He was looking for a deeper receiver, but he had to get rid of it very quickly.
Only picked up two there, so it's second down and 8. Again, we'll have all those interviews, all those seniors in El Camino. Learn a lot more about these individuals at halftime. Jason Zabalik interviews his own players. It's fun to watch. And another flag comes out. They'll blow the play dead.
All start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
This is again a penalty killer. With you have a drive and you're moving the ball, and a simple mistake changes the whole motivation.
Ball's placed down at the 28. Second down. They'll need about 13.
That's doable with these wide receivers. They'll go in, they'll run the route exactly 13 to 14 yards so that they can get to that flag. Feinberg needs the time to throw, though. They're starting to blitz him from the outside.
Okay, he's a capable runner. Throw for Dover. It's in the air. It's deflected again and caught. I've never seen two in the same half, and this one's for a touchdown. And guess who? It's Bueno again. It came up with it. This has been a wacky first half.
It is unbelievable. It almost leaves you speechless, because when you see those kinds of plays, you can't script that. You can't write that down and say we're going to do a tip drill as in basketball. It's just the way it breaks, and Bueno was in the right place at the right time again.
We've had Tommy on return 2 kickoffs for Chatsworth for long touchdowns, and Bueno catch 2 deflected passes. One for a big first down that set up a score, and this one directly, he takes in the end
In
zone.
all your years,
No,
have you seen this?
Not
I have never seen it. In 50 years, I've not seen two players do the same thing back to back in the first half.
Not like that. No two deflected passes. That's crazy.
Looks like
they're going for two, yeah. Timeout taken by Chatsworth as they realize that El Camino Real is going to go for the 2 points.
Yeah, again, they're going to try to make that a 3-point score and give Chatsworth another challenge. But again, 2 touchdowns by tip drills, 2 touchdowns by long kickoff returns. Amazing to see that. By the same players, by the way, Randy, not different players, the same players.
Well, that's what makes it so remarkable. How often do you see a tip for a completion? You'll see that just a few times in a season. And to have the same guy catch 2 deflections twice in the same half, unheard of.
And the probability is not that the offensive receiver will catch it. The tip drills, usually the defensive players catch it because they're all around the receiver. So
there's
the
more
probability,
of them. It's just a numbers game.
It's just, I mean, again, some intervention of some kind here.
So some divine intervention has helped El Camino Real to a 2019 lead. And Bueno will be under center to run what has normally been a power package where they run the power pitch.
Yep.
See if he goes to Spellman or if they change it up a little bit. Bueno rolling and throwing.
It was actually a great call.
Got the 2.
And the receiver was able to almost one-hand it. It's unbelievable.
A 2-point conversion for Ariel Guerrero.
Yep.
Here's your tip drill. That is very wacky, isn't it?
Again, I've never seen the same player get 2 touchdowns on a tip in the first quarter of any game or first half of any game.
22-19 El Camino Real after the 2-point conversion.
And on that 2-point play, you saw them converge on the run, and they pulled it and were able to just toss it to
Guerrero.
Guerrero.
There has nothing in this half that has told us that Chatsworth can slow down the El Camino offense. So it's really the pressure now goes back as Asa Johnson's going to kick this one. The pressure goes back now. I think the Chatsworth, not necessarily on this particular drive, but in the second half, they're going to have to march the football. They cannot rely on kickoff returns to try to win the game. But who knows? Ace is not going to kick it to Tommy on, that's for sure. And it's picked up by Gomez.
That was probably the wisest thing to do on a kickoff now is continue to just squib it.
Yeah, Daniel Gomez returned it.
I mean, Chatsworth has not beaten El Camino in the first half. Tommy On has beaten El Camino in the first half.
Well, Chatsworth did beat El Camino Real April 16th in the spring, right here 21-18. So a lot of these players were in that game for El Camino and for Chatsworth, so they're familiar with one another.
And it's literally a cross-valley rivalry as well.
Still time for Chatsworth if they can get the offense mounted. Yeah, they have not moved the ball at all offensively.
Well, they haven't thrown the ball yet. They've been keeping it on the ground, again, hoping that Tommy On can make the break and bust it out. And I haven't seen a receiver yet. I don't think they threw a pass yet.
Well, they've been one-dimensional, that's for sure. First down, Chatsworth. On has running room. Explodes for 7. Well, he's quick out of the box, isn't he?
He is clearly the athlete, and he's demonstrating why they write about him and why they talk about him. He's got that skill set.
Well, Chatsworth needs to move a little bit here because if they're going to be a strict ground game, that clock will be a factor.
Well, that's why when they had 3rd and long, they just handed it off to On. They didn't try to throw it.
It's on again. First down and a lot more. Took quite a pop there. Slammed down by Jaden Williams, the defensive tackle.
You're going to probably see El Camino adjust now and bring their linebackers up tighter to stop the run, because Chatsworth hasn't even faked a pass.
Got a minute 20 left in the half. Not a sense of urgency yet for the Chancellors, and they're down 3 here. Running their offense. The pitch to Tommy On. He's running effectively, but they're burning the clock out.
I don't know. I think they just called their last time out of the half.
Player is down, and that's why we have a stoppage in play. Just wondered when Nicholas Gutierrez is going to pull the ball back and throw downfield. Let's go back to that Robin Bueno circus act, bringing the ball in and scoring a touchdown. Almost looked like a lateral, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think Bueno was as surprised as anybody that it dropped into his hands.
Can't tell who is down for El Camino Real. We are on the other side of the field, and impossible to detect the number as there's 3 or 4 people assisting. .59 seconds left in the half as they help the young man to his feet. Coming off the field for El Camino Real is Necochea, Donovan Necochea.
Yeah, junior.
Never like to see that.
No.
It's a war of attrition, this game, isn't it?
I'll have some stories to tell you, Randy.
It's tough to stay healthy in this game. It's a violent game, but it's a lovable game.
When you're playing the game, you hear all the stories about, well, when you get older, you're going to feel all of this. And I said, no, I'll never feel that. They were right.
Yeah, but you look good.
Oh, thank you.
Second down and 7. The clock is the factor. It's starting to roll now as we go down to 55 seconds. And this could be the first pass. And is. Picked off. Well, maybe that's why they haven't thrown it all night.
That could be the reason, Randy.
Howard's got the interception.
Yep.
That interception for Devin Howard, the junior. And that stalls the drive, and with 44 seconds left in the half, the Royals get the ball back, and some high fives for that defense coming off.
Yeah, that was a big play by that young junior. He was, again, he dropped back. They're keeping the receivers underneath, even though Chatsworth hasn't really thrown the ball. And as you said, that could be the reason why they haven't thrown it, is because they just don't have the players to do it.
Well, Camino's defense comes up with a big play.
Well, Howard went up real high to get that ball. It shows his vertical jump ability, and he's got a whole year to develop. Now, El Camino should keep it on the ground here and just run the clock out.
So you don't want him to get aggressive and try to do something deep, or?
Well, this is the old coach saying just keep it conservative here and go into the locker room with the lead and bring it out with a lot more momentum.
Feinberg running the option. Flag again behind the play. Chatsworth wasn't fooled by that read option from Feinberg at all.
It was more of a keeper. I don't think he really felt that he had the option to hand it. He just kept it to try to run the clock out. Chatsworth called a timeout, or is there a penalty?
It was a penalty.
Yeah.
Probable hold again behind the line of scrimmage. He's thrown in the holding zone, and it is.
Number 7, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
You got to just take a knee and take it in the locker room.
You are conservative, huh?
I am. I played in the era of Woody Hayes, Washington.
People here watching this show have no clue who Woody Hayes, 3 yards in a cloud of dust is.
Woody Hayes, we played Ohio State my senior year, and it was a real thrill to.
When you were at Washington.
At Washington.
They will run it, trying to bust one in the middle. That won't happen. Just want to preach ball security, not turn the ball over.
And we played Michigan in Ann Arbor the week before that, in Bo Schembechler's first year at Michigan, and he was a Woody Hayes protege.
Another El Camino player down. Again, we'll have the seniors for you at halftime, all introduced, and it's a pretty good conversation with all those players from Coach Jason Zabala.
And it was well done that you got to learn and see those players speak about their experiences, and it tells the whole story about this program.
Yeah, it's more than football, isn't it?
Yeah, they talked about the classroom, they talked about the brotherhood and how they get along with each other, and there's a lot to be said for that. That's what football's about.
Walking off, and this is a good sign under his own power, is Anderson Barrios.
Center.
Yeah, he's a 260-pound senior, and you'll meet him at halftime. And he's okay. El Camino looking to get into the locker room and regroup, as is Chatsworth. Again, there's only 15 seconds left, so I think you get into. They're just going to. They're not even going to have to kneel down. They're going to start the clock, and teams are going to leave the field. So that's going to do it. That's going to be the first half. Didn't have to even kneel down, did they? So after the first half, which was crazy, right? You saw it. We're just here witnessing, just like you. Crazy stuff. Tommy on 2 long kickoff returns of 82 and 90 yards for touchdowns. And on the other side, Robin Bueno, Mr. Deflection, caught one for a touchdown, caught another one to set up a touchdown off of deflected passes.
So the
22-19.
The whole first half is just 2 players, On and Barrios. They could have played the game, and we would be in the same place.
You mean Bueno?
Bueno, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You don't have to apologize. We don't have to apologize to you. You're going to love this segment. We're going to go and meet those seniors right now with Coach Jason Zabala.
And thank you guys for joining us tonight on senior night once again back here at El Camino Real High School. I have with me right now Abraham Alvarado. In just a short minute or less, explain to us and everybody else out there what it's been like as a senior and playing in this football program.
It's been fun playing with all these teammates and playing under a new coach for my first year. And I'm pretty enjoying the program right now. And yeah, that's it. All I'm having is fun right now. And I'm grateful for being on this team. And thankful for meeting these new coaches and players. And hope we win tonight.
Any shout outs out there for anybody?
Yes, I'll shout out to my mom and dad. They're out there in the stands cheering me on, hoping for me to play and win. And yeah.
Great, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach.
And one of our rocks up front next is Daniel Asukar. Daniel, explain to me what it's been like playing in this program over 4 years. You've been a 4-year player for us. Tell us what it's been like and the experience that you had in this program.
It's been amazing. All the relationships and all the memories I have with this team, it's been great. Honestly, I'm so thankful for this program, because without it, I don't know where I'd be right now. And all these coaches, like Coach Vasquez when he was here, you, Sabali, Duran, Joyce, all of them, even when I was on JV. I really appreciate everything.
Fantastic. You have any shout-outs out there for anybody?
Yeah, from my older brother over there, David Pineda, he came out, my dad, my mom, my sister who might be coming, my little brother who's over there in the stands.
Beautiful. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. And our center, Anderson Barrios, another 4-year individual in our program. Tell us what it's been like here at El Camino for your 4 years.
It's been great. Blessing to play here. Just want to thank all the coaching staff, the community for supporting us. It's been great. Anyone who wants to come here, I'm truly meaning this. Please come here. It's a great program, great school, great everything.
Any shout-outs out there for anybody?
Shout out my mom, dad, friends, family, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Lorenzo Chavez, Borrelli, our kicker that just came to us for the first year on loan from Heritage Christian, as he's the soccer guy as well. He's going to be playing soccer here in a couple of months. Tell us what it's like to be a transfer coming in and to be in this your senior year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot, but I've never been happier to be here, especially with the brotherhood that we all came together. It's been truly a delight to be a part of the team.
Awesome. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Definitely my brother and family. They've been pushing me since day one. They're kind of all what I have right now.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Another 4-year individual in the program, Jake DeLate, Mr. Everything. Jake, what has it been like to be here for 4 years? Explain the process and the team and all that kind of good stuff.
Man, it's been amazing. These guys are my brothers, and coming out here, grinding every single day in practice, every Friday, going to war, and these guys are my brothers, you know. I really became close with everyone here, and it's really been an amazing experience that I'll take for the rest of my life.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for this program. Any shout-outs for anybody?
Yeah, shout out to my parents, you know. I couldn't have been here without them. These guys support me in everything I do, and I just love them.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Cameron Dover, standout wideout, coming into his senior year. Once again, new to the game of football, coming into your sophomore year and then into a shortened COVID junior year. Tell us what it's been like to be here at El Camino for the time that you have been playing football.
It's been great, you know, just coming from the Caribbean and then just coming to California and having a new experience. Everything's been fun, amazing. I love football. I used to play baseball, but now I just fell in love with football even more, and everything's been good.
And hopefully this leads us into, a good collegiate stint for Cam as he's got a good shot at the next level. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
I want to thank my family back home for giving me the opportunity to come up here and play football.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, and the rest of the Dover family, and appreciate all of your hard work, buddy. Thank you. And the quarterback himself, number 7, the magic maker, Mr. Ryan Feinberg, another 4-year starter, been playing since he was very little. I get pictures all the time from your dad and how proud they are of you. Tell us what it's been like to be at the helm of this program and lead this school along the way.
I mean, meeting all these people has been the highest level importance to me. Like, all these friends that I've made so far, and just coaches, everyone treating me like complete family. So
I love it. Any shout-outs for anybody?
I mean, my family for sure. My mom, my dad, my brother. My grandpa's here right now. I love them for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Mom. Awesome, buddy. Thank you for everything. Appreciate you. George Isio, tell us what it's been like for this your first year, correct?
Yeah.
What has it been like being, the first time out here and being a part of the program?
It's been great. I wish I did this since 9th grade. It's a family out here. All these guys are my brothers, and I'm never going to experience anything like this in my life, I think. This has been the greatest thing I've done so far.
Fantastic, buddy. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Yeah, shout out to my mom and dad, supporting me through all of this, letting me stay out late and, be able to be a part of this.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate all your hard work, buddy. We got a couple of more for you. We're bringing them over as we go. Ben Pisano has been injured and hasn't really had a chance to be, as integral as a part as he wanted to be. But being a part of this program, explain to us everything in your mind and how it's been.
For the past 4 years, it's definitely been inspiring being a part of this family. As a freshman, I didn't really know what was going on, and I joined the team halfway through the season, but they took me in, they put me under the wing, and they definitely helped raise me into the young man that I am today.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate all your hard work, buddy. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Shout out to my mom for helping me get on this team and for inspiring me to join football. Thank you for everything.
Appreciate you, buddy. Good work.
Thank you, Coach.
George Rivera, welcome. Coach. Tell us, what has it been like for you, who is a phenomenal student in the classroom? What has it been like outside of the classroom on the football field?
It's been a lot of fun. I didn't play last year because of COVID and all that, and I'm really sad I didn't play last year. But I'm very happy that I came back and all the new people I've met, the great new coaches I've had with. It's been a fun experience.
Awesome, buddy. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Shout out to Daniel Asukar and Anderson Barrios, because they're the reasons I came back. They pursued me. They texted me every day to come back, and that's the reason I came back.
Well, we appreciate all your hard effort, buddy. Good job this year. Ricky Rodriguez, resident long snapper. Mr. Does it all in special teams. So how has it been for you as an individual in this program for a few years? Explain to us what it's been like.
It's been great. This program has helped me so much with school, my family, understand my situation, and have supported me. And it's been great, you know. It's just how they taken care of me just in general, my academics, and trying to focus in college. And this program is an amazing program that helped me to become the best person I am, to help lead this team with special teams and become a long snapper and everybody around me.
Awesome, buddy. We appreciate you. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Yeah, I want to shout out to all the seniors that, you know, have taught me the way I am today. The past seniors, and that Jose Castellon, Zachary Katz, Alberto Puente, Carter Noble, all the people that helped me, my parents, helping me become a man I am today, this program becoming the man I am today. And I want to appreciate so much. Thank you so much for this program.
Appreciate all your hard work, buddy. The All-American man, Troy Spellman, Mr. Everything. I don't know what part or facet of the game you're not a part of, not just tremendous on the field, but off the field, in the classroom, a stand-up human being. Tell us what it's been like as an individual in this football program and this school to be a beacon and of positivity for everybody around you and your peers.
Joining this program definitely developed me not only as a football player, but as a person. I feel like when I got here, I was just an immature little freshman, and I feel like now I've just learned so much just from the coaching, from other people on the team, from the fans. It's changed my life.
I'm very happy to have been able to get a chance to coach such a wonderful athlete. Any shout-outs for anybody out there?
Shout out to my mom and my sister, who come to every single game and support me throughout my whole life.
Awesome, buddy. Couple more games left. Love it. One of the last couple, Sean Trevino, joins us. He pursued me in the classroom, wanted to play football, found his way onto the field and into the hearts of the coaching staff. Tell us what it's been like to rise from somebody that wasn't really around for too long, that comes in, thrust into a position.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, this football team, I was new to this school, and it gave me like a family, friends to have, and it really helped me out coming here.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate all your hard work and efforts. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My parents, my friends, you know, they've been with me through everything. So.
Awesome, buddy. We appreciate all your hard work. Chris Flores goes both ways for us up front. Finally got a chance to get this young man out here on the football field, and we are so special, opportunity for us to be able to get him out here. And we're happy to have you. Explain what it's been like in the road you've traveled to be able to be where you're at today.
Well, I transferred here 2 years ago, and honestly, the program has been pretty great to me, and it's been a great experience being here at El Camino, and the road hasn't been easy. I mean, COVID season, we messed up a bunch, but we're growing, we're getting stronger every day and shit. Sorry for my language, but we're growing, and I've seen a lot of improvement of this team, and I'm proud of everyone on this team and the coaches, staff, and everyone in this school.
Fantastic. Any shout outs for anybody out there?
I'd like to shout out my family, anybody watching, anybody supporting El Camino, alumni. I'm happy to be a Royal.
Appreciate all your hard work, buddy. Thank you. Ariel Guerrero, also transferring in from Silmar, coming in and playing with us for his senior year. Tell us what it's been like.
It's been great. El Camino, a good family. As soon as I came in, they treated me well. Everything, teammates, all of them, I love them. As soon as I came in, I started loving them and all.
Awesome, buddy. Any shout outs for anybody out there?
My mom, my dad, my sister, my brothers, my family, everybody, 818, Silmar, all the way.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate all your hard work. Last but definitely not least, Mr. Dorian Jefferson. Yes, man. This man joined us this last year from Birmingham High School. Tell us what it's been like to be a transfer and coming in and have an opportunity to play right away and be a part of something special.
It was just a different ball game. It's just like I had to snap in real quick because they had a different mentality, different way of coaching, this and that. So I had to just be flexible and learn how they teach and how you just got to be a team player and play with everybody else's energy and this and that.
Beautiful, buddy. Well, it's been a pleasure having you around. Any shout-outs for anybody? Mom and dad, for sure?
Nah, besides my mom, but she couldn't make it today. But it's fine. I'm going to do her a blessing today, show her what I'm about.
Let's go, man. Turn it up. Great having you out here. Once again, guys, thank you for being a part of our senior night. We appreciate everything. LA36, Mr. Rosenblum, Mr. Sabalik, take it away.
Well, thank you, Coach. That was fun. Paul, that was really neat to meet those kids, and some of them have matured so many different ways. Some of them talked about football, but there's so much more. And it was great to see them and get to know them a little bit more than just watching them hit with their pads on during a football game.
Well, that's, again, part of what football teaches. It's part of being a team. It's part of being a brotherhood, as you heard some of the players say. And this is an experience they'll always remember. They will always take it with them. And it's great to see that they're just more than a football player.
Well, speaking of football, we got to talk about that first half. El Camino Real leads Chatsworth 22-19. It was unusual, to say the least. We had Tommy on bring back 2 kicks for 82 and 90 for touchdowns. We had Robin Bueno catch a couple deflected balls, one of them going for a touchdown, the other one setting up a score. I don't know that I've ever seen 2 touchdowns in the same half by one guy on kicks, and I know I haven't seen anyone catch 2 deflected balls in a half. That's just remarkable.
Well, the only thing that would rival that would, if you remember the old USC Anthony Davis game against Notre Dame.
Yeah,
where
they scored 35 in one quarter.
Exactly, and he was part of that with kickoff returns. But I've never seen a player get a tip drill like that. The same player 2 different times catch a pass that was deflected and one for a touchdown. That I haven't seen.
All right, let's flip the script here and talk a little bit about Chatsworth. They had the great kick return game, and they forced a turnover on an errant snap, and Chavez Borrelli was taken down in a very short field, and they drove it in. But they didn't do anything offensively. So what do they need to do to move it against the El Camino defense? They're down 3 here, so they're very much in the game. What do they need to do in the second half?
Well, if you just look at what they've done in the first half is run the football, and it's been the Tommy On show, and you have to say that they need to open it up a little bit. They got to start throwing the football. They threw it once in the first half for an interception. That could be problematic for them. If El Camino adjusts to On and they put more guys in the box, it'll stop that run threat, and then Chatsworth will have to open it up. And if they don't have the people to,
you know what I wanted to see?
Execute
I want to see some highlights, don't you?
I'll look at them.
Just run these highlights. Miguel, just run them from the truck. These are self-explanatory highlights. These are
remarkable highlights.
Yeah, we don't even have to narrate these highlights. These are fun. I mean, just sit back and relax and watch craziness. Not the Spellman first touchdown. That's routine. Now it gets a little bit wacky, doesn't it? Let's watch Tommy On. This is the first of 2.
Again, he gets to the sideline, and it's all to the races. He's never going to be caught from behind.
Look at that sideline. They're so excited knowing that they got a quick score back after the Smellman touchdown. And then Feinberg had quite a run, didn't he?
Again, he has the ability and the skill to do that, and he just has to keep the ball and get in the open field, and you'll see him score more.
But there is more. There's more Tommy On.
Again, you just watch this. It's a thing of beauty. You don't need to even speak to it.
Where are the Royals? Tommy On takes it in easily. And again, he's just a gracious human being. He's not going to celebrate. Here's the sneak by Gutierrez for the touchdown after the short field because of the muffed snap on the bad snap to the punter. Here's that deflection that went to Bueno for a touchdown. That's absolute craziness, isn't it?
And he did it twice. That's what's remarkable.
Fans here, the student body, having a fun time. Do you think they know there's a game going on?
I don't think they care. They're just having a good old time. It's high school. That's what it's about.
I like the get-ups, don't you?
Celebrating the senior night.
Well, what do you want to see from El Camino in the second half? We talked about with Chatsworth maybe opening it up a little bit. What do you want to see from El Camino Real?
I would like to see El Camino sustain their drives and cut out the mistakes that they made in the first half. They've got the ability to run the ball off tackle. They've got the ability to throw into the underneath patterns with to the sideline and in the center of the field. As Chatsworth cheats up their linebackers, that opens up the middle of the field for that about 10-yard slant. So I'd like to see El Camino sustain the drive, keep the ball moving, and not do exotic things.
Speaking of exotic, I'd like to see you go in that crowd. That would be fun to see you go in the wave with them.
Yeah, they're having a good time waving, I'll tell you.
That's true. Well, Chatsworth deferred at the beginning of the game.
You
so
did that at North Hollywood, didn't you?
No, I did not do that.
Yes, you did.
No, I was a football player and not a very good one. But here's Chatsworth's going to get the ball first, so we'll see what Marvin Street said to his team and how they map out their strategy for the back half. One thing is for certain, El Camino's probably going to squib kick it and keep it away from Tamian.
I would hope that's what they'll do. That's a possibility.
Well, they did that the last couple times in the half. Here we go, back half about to commence at El Camino Real Field. Again, the wind is gone. It's delightful in Woodland Hills. Again, they kick it short, straight out of bounds. Giving up field position
but that's
because
what they
of the threat of Tamian.
Yes, that's what they needed to do. They got to keep it away from him. And if it means giving up 10 or 15 yards on a kickoff, it's the wise thing to do.
Especially since the Chatsworth offense has not proven they can sustain a march. Not yet.
Well, that remains to be seen. We'll see how that comes about. If they talked about throwing the ball at halftime. Wow.
Chatsworth will start from its 44-yard line.
Kicking team. 5-yard penalty from where it went out of bounds. First down.
Joe is so soft-spoken on that mic, Joe ran to the official.
He's keeping the game under control, though.
He's done a nice job. Chatsworth looking to respond early in the third quarter and get the lead. They start with a run play. That's not a surprise. What is a surprise, it's not Tamian. It's Jordan Anot, and we expected to see him. He's also a fine basketball player, playing on their championship Division I team that beat Venice in the finals last year. He's another one of those hard-working guys and a leader. So not a shock that Anot came in, and he's going to probably get some touches in this third and fourth quarter.
Well, On is in there, but he's at wide receiver.
Yet he, like Spellman, plays all over the field.
So it looks like they're going to try to put the ball up and get it into On's hands.
Anot got a couple and was drilled. And there's that young man who was prevalent in the first half who caught the two-point conversion, Ariel Guerrero. Guerrero is a transfer from Silmar, known as a hard hitter, and we just saw that.
Yeah, he put it on it.
So it's third down and long. Early first possession of the third quarter for Chatsworth. You send a blitz here, do anything a little bit different defensively, trying to cross up this quarterback, thinking he may throw on 3rd and 10?
Well, I got to believe he's going to be looking at Tamian.
Well, they show blitz. See if they come or they fall back into coverage. They do blitz.
And it is Tamian.
He was blanketed well by Derek Howard, so it was 1 against 1, and it's 4th down and 10, and a good defensive stand to begin the third quarter by El Camino Real.
So you see Chatsworth's strategy now. They're changing it up in the second half. They're going to start to open it up, and they're going to put Tamian out on the flat and in the flank and try to get the ball to him in any way they can.
Jaden Grossman on to punt, number 14. Haven't had a whole lot of punts tonight, have we? Offense has been very prevalent. 22-19, El Camino Real. Derek Howard back deep is also very dangerous if he gets any kind of room. High end over end kick. Takes a favorable roll for the Chancellors. It'll be a long field for El Camino Real. Beautiful punt by Jaden Grossman.
Looks like there's a flag on the field.
Again, our lead official is Joe Aranda.
On the return, hitting the defensive player on the receiving team. Have the distance to the goal. First down, El Camino.
They do damage themselves on these penalties, don't they?
It's problematic with El Camino special teams.
Two minutes into the third quarter, El Camino's possessing the football for the first time. Up by 3. Conservative play call, but they've had success running up the middle. Spellman's been busy in so many areas of the game, defensively, offensively, running back, wide receiver. Just a reliable guy. He's got great hands. I don't remember him ever losing the handle.
Well, I believe he's a baseball player, so he's obviously got eye-hand coordination, and he's going to hold on to the football.
Want to get a few first downs here and get some breathing room for that offense. 22-19 is their advantage. Trying to go to 2-0 in the West Valley League. No good down the far sideline. Well, they tried to open it up there and stretch that defense. And again, Jefferson has been a very big part of the game plan. Number 5. Good speed for Dorian Jefferson. Peffer was also over there as well, number 6. They're both out on the flanks and in the pattern. Yeah, it was Peffer that was the intended target. 3rd and 6. This is Dover, and he's hitting his tracks. So Chatsworth's defense stands tall. Terrific job there by the visitors. They've done a good job bracketing Dover tonight.
Well, again, that punt put them back in a hole to recover their offense, and then again 2 penalties.
Officials are conferring again. They waved the flag off. Yeah, Joe Randa picked up the red flag and said, nope, no penalty that time.
I suspect Feinberg is going to do a quick kick again here.
I don't think there's any question on 4th down and long. No reason to gamble here. You got the lead. There's that kick, and it's blocked. And again, Chatsworth's going to have the ball inside the 5 at the 1-yard line with a chance to take the lead. So special teams have been great tonight for the Chancellors.
And El Camino special teams hasn't. That's been problematic with them again.
Another part of how unusual this game has been, at the line of scrimmage, El Camino's controlled the game, but the special teams have been overwhelmingly in favor of Chatsworth. And they're 1 yard away from taking the lead.
You're going to probably see a quarterback sneak here again, right behind those giant linemen.
Well, work once for a touchdown. Why not try it again?
Yep. 260 pounds plus coming at you.
Gutierrez under center. Timeout, El Camino. Now the negative with that is, a close game. That could really come back to haunt you. Those are valuable assets as those timeouts. You don't want to burn them like that, but they lose one here. Here's the block. What a great job.
Singh came in untouched.
Yeah, he did. Kingston Singh, who we were told wasn't going to play tonight. I guess he is.
And he made a difference.
It's interesting. They have two big young men by the name of Singh, Kingston and Mo, and they're not related.
And they are both in excess of 250 pounds.
Well, Chatsworth's got to be excited. They've been outplayed in so many aspects of this game, but here's a chance, and there's still plenty of time remaining. Better than 8 minutes left here in the third quarter for the Chancellors to grab the lead. Anot's in the backfield, number 9. If they elect to hand it to him, but Paul's already mapped it out for you. He believes it's going to be quarterback keep.
That's my bet.
Oh, they go to the up back, and it's a touchdown. And taking it in is Ramel Lopez.
They're sharing the wealth here.
So Lopez gets his first touch, and he gets a TD, and Chatsworth has the lead. 25-22.
And again, all set up by special teams errors, special teams mistakes, El Camino special teams mistakes.
We'll bring out the placement specialist once again, Jaden Grossman. Got his job back, missed one earlier, so he was replaced by Jimenez for a while. Then Jimenez missed one, so Jaden's back out there. Low snap. Got it up and in anyway. Beautiful job. You got to be between those pipes. That's a great job by the holder and the kicker.
Yeah, they recovered the snap.
26-22. And go back to that quick touchdown from Lopez up the middle. Boy, they moved him out of there, didn't they? Pushed him. He scored easily.
You and I could have probably scored on that, Randy, with that offensive line.
Yeah, they got some big kids in Marvin Street. He believes he should be 7-0, Paul. He believes that they should have won against Heritage Christian in Granada Hills. Tight battles into the fourth quarter. And his team is showing some resiliency here. And for Jason Zabalik, there's got to be concern on the sideline.
Well, genuinely concerned with their special teams. And it's, the head coach looks at that and has to depend on his assistants who are handling special teams positions to fix this problem.
Again, the pressure falls back on the El Camino Real offense.
And they were stopped in that last drive, and they've got to sustain it. We talked about that at halftime. They've got to be able to take those drives down into the end zone.
Grossman kicking off. Short kick. El Camino has a chance to return this one. They're going to get a specialty team touchdown. It was Jefferson, number 5.
Dorian Jefferson.
Well, what is it? Turnabout is fair play? I think he's going to celebrate a little bit. We've seen a little bit of everything tonight, haven't we?
He's the transfer player. He talked about it at the beginning of the game and how he was going to try to make a difference.
Well, that Chatsworth lead didn't last very long, did it?
Did not.
28-25, El Camino Real.
You said turnabout is fair play.
Gonna kick it here to try to build to a 4-point lead. Chavez Borrelli's on for the point after. I've never seen a game with the specialty teams this involved. Never.
Mistakes by one, mistakes by the other.
Substitute infraction on Chatsworth, 5-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. Replay the down.
See if they elect to go for 2 here, even though conventionally normally you go for 1 here. But with the half the distance to the goal, you might just go for it. And I think they're going to do that.
I think you're right, Randy, and probably go to that power pitch play.
So Bueno will be under center, number 8. I think his new nickname around campus will be Mr. Deflection. Catching 2 deflected balls in the first half.
Remarkable.
So they're a yard away from getting 2. They're up by 3 points, 28-25. Still got a long way to go. See what they design here with Bueno at quarterback. And a flag comes out and a delay of game, and you might see the kicking team back out there. Here comes Chavez Borrelli.
The PAT.
It has been ugly at times for the ECR specialty units. That's disappointing.
Special teams error again, Randy. Special teams errors.
They just seem to be somewhat lost. You got players running in and out. At this stage of the year, you shouldn't have this kind of confusion. They do have a good kicker, but a poor snap, and more flags are out. And it is high school football. And we have to remember that. For Joe Aranda, he's got to sort it all out, our white hat.
Right to the snap. Disconcerting foul by the defense. 5-yard penalty, which will be half the distance to the goal.
I think they go for 2 now. Let's bring the offense back out there and try it again.
Well,
I feel like we're watching the movie Groundhog Day. You know, it just keeps repeating itself.
Well, it's not going to be at the 1-yard line now. It's going to be at the 3, and so it may be an issue with going for 2.
Doesn't matter. They're going for it.
With the pitch power, though, it should work. It should get in there.
They got in easily. Spellman.
These
that sequence was unusual to say the least, with the
again,
decisions going back and forth because of penalties.
You had the special teams with Chatsworth they gave up. I mean, again, they were going to go for the extra point kicking it. Then the Chatsworth penalty caused the ball to go back to the 3-yard line, and you just gave up 2 points that you didn't need to give up.
I want to see the touchdown again, don't you?
Yeah, I would like to see
that Jefferson pretty return. And these kick returns that we've seen for scores, they've been easy scores. I mean, once they've broken through, there's been no one around them but the 2 ons and now the Jefferson TD run. 8:15 left in the third quarter, and it's 30-25.
Usually in special teams kickoff, the kicker stays back as a safety valve and is the one who should be able to make that tackle. But here we're not seeing that.
Asa Johnson in to kick off, rotating with Chavez Borrelli. There's the strength of his leg, and this one's going to bounce into the end zone for the touchback.
Keeping it away from Tamian. When you have a leg like that, that's where you should put every kickoff.
What's going through this young man's mind right now? He seems to be chatting it up with his big lineman Barrios. You know, Anderson Barrios
Well, I think the head coach should have some genuine concern about his special teams coach and what they're doing, and watch film this week and to try to fix that. It has to get fixed. They've had problems with it all season.
Well, they go to Taft next week, and we'll have that game for you right here on LA36. Paul Zabalek will be in Woodland Hills with me, right? I'm going to make you commit right now on air. And Taft.
And no pressure, right, Randy?
Taft had a long losing streak. They've snapped that. They've won a couple of games this year, but El Camino will be the favorite in that game. El Camino's defense sifting through. Troy Spellman making a big-time play. No chance at all for Anot.
Spellman's all over the field. He is that kind of athlete. We talked about that pregame.
The irony of this whole night is, El Camino's ahead again. They're up by 5, but it feels like they're up by 25 or 30. They've controlled the game so much.
But as you know, mistakes are the ones that kill you in football. Can't make mistakes.
Lost 3. It's second down and 13 for the Chancellors. Again, they're 5-2 on the year, dominating 4 East Valley League teams: Grant, Verdugo Hills, Poly, and North Hollywood. They try the pitch. And breaking through is Anot. How'd he get out of jail? Sikowski finally ran him down.
He had 5 missed tackles.
Jordan Anot. Something about this Chatsworth team that just won't go away. And Anot with a fantastic run.
Watch the missed tackles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good effort. You got to give Anot a lot of credit.
Absolutely. When you can break those tackles, it's all athletic effort.
Takes it out to the 38-yard line, and better field position for Chatsworth. Right up the middle, and a gaping hole, and Anot going downfield. Hit by Peffer. In fact, that was Kajar that's come in, and now he's one of their all-stars, and he was not supposed to play tonight. And now you come back with Kanan Kajar, and he is a great football player. He's in the mold of a Tommy On. We were told he would not play. Peffer with the big hit, but Kajar is a phenomenal player. So now Chatsworth is going and getting serious. They probably were going to hold 3 out. They thought they were going to set him up to rest. He's been banged up. We did not expect to see him out there. Well, and he did come out on the kick return, but he didn't have a chance to field it.
Well, again, Chatsworth is keeping the ball on the ground because they see that Tommy On's a threat.
Coach said about Kajar, nobody can catch him. So you need to keep your close eye on number 3. Now their first pass completion goes to Adrian Jimenez. So Chatsworth is answering the question, can they move the football offensively?
Well, again, that's what we talked about at halftime. They've got to open it up with the pass. The run is setting that up, and they've gotten some good yardage on the ground. And my guess is that they're still going to look for Tommy On as a wide receiver out here and get him open.
But with getting Kajar in there, Kanan Kajar, that makes their offense more diversified. It gives them another big weapon.
Well, he's been their main back over the season, and so there's no surprise to see him doing what he's doing.
The surprise is that he's playing.
Yeah.
But he looks healthy to us. Second down, 4. Again, they go to Kajar. Got a first down with a head of steam. He's a good-looking running back, isn't he?
He is. He's got the power and he's got the intensity to bust through tackles and make things happen.
Well, that 5-point lead is not safe. Chatsworth is driving, and this has been the best drive of the night for the Chancellors.
And they've mixed pass with the run. Well, again, there's no contain on the outside for El Camino, and Kajar is able to just bust in there and get that extra yardage.
First and 10, Chatsworth. Kajar, right up the middle.
Yeah,
he's getting nice chunks each time.
They're controlling that offensive line again. That big front is able to move the Elko defenders out of the way.
They're getting 5, 6, 7 yards at a crack, and he got 6.5 there. Also kills the clock and keeps the football away from El Camino's outstanding offense. And that defense is getting tired a little bit on this drive. They're getting pushed around. Second down and 4. The best drive of the night for Chatsworth. Kajar, look at that leg strength. Takes 5 or 6 of them to bend them back. There is a flag out. Joe has the answers for us. Joe Aranda, he's going to give us the indication.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
I love his style of officiating. Mild-mannered.
Very controlled. Again, he's keeping everything under control and keeping everybody calm and taking charge of the referees.
That's a damaging penalty for Chatsworth.
You know, as a former offensive lineman and an offensive line coach, I can tell you that you can almost call holding on every play. If the referees wanted to do that, there's always a possibility of that. So when they do call it, it's got to be blatant.
Second down and 13. Quick pitch. Kanan Kajar. Like Tommy on in the first half, it's exclusively going to number 3. Before it was number 1 that was doing all the heavy lifting.
And we don't see Tommy on in there right now. He's not even on the flank.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
Guess who's coming back?
He's coming in.
He's okay.
Yeah. Good call, Randy.
Even Tommy on needs a breather. Again, his coach said he's greatest kid he's ever been around. Respectful, compassionate, and talented on the football field and in the classroom.
And he's in the backfield.
Timeout taken here by Chatsworth. We're down to 2:17 left in the third. An intriguing game at El Camino Real Field.
This puts El Camino again in that situation where you have a big third down play where they have let other teams up, where they should have been able to pressure them on third down and long. They've let them up in the past. So this is very critical down for El Camino defense right now. They've got to step up and make the play.
Well, on Chatsworth's side, what are you thinking here, Paul? You got 2 downs. It's third and long, third and about 12. They don't have to pick it all up because you got 4 down territory. They're not going to go for a field goal right now.
No, they'll keep the ball and they'll go for the 4th down. You know, in the old days we called it kick or make, and they're going to go for it most likely if they don't make it on third down. But this is a big stop here if El Camino can do that.
Well, this has been the most unusual game of the year. Been the most fun. Yeah. It's entertaining. It's wacky.
It's almost makes me speechless to watch what happened.
No, we don't need a color analyst on the air who's speechless.
But you look at that and the play speaks for itself. It's hard to even say great things other than watching it. That's great in itself. You know, the old picture is worth 1,000 words.
When's the last time you went to a game where 3 kickoffs were brought back for touchdowns?
That's my whole point.
Big play for Chatsworth offensively. Third down and 12. On left the ball behind him, but he's coming back this way. It'll be 4th and long. but he had the awareness to go back, pick it up, turn around, and try to bounce outside.
That was a big play for El Camino's defense to stop him. Well, actually, they stopped themselves with the fumble.
Ball's at the El Camino Real 31-yard line.
They will go for it.
Well, they need 14 yards. So it's going to have to be one of their best offensive plays of the night if they're going to pick it up. Here's a huge play in the ball game with 1:35 left in the third. This is really a momentum builder here either way.
Big stop. They need a big stop here.
Gutierrez out of the gun. Deep throw. Did he come up with it? He did. Jimenez. Number 7.
And we thought they weren't going to throw, but we said they needed to throw, and that's exactly what they've done. And again, El Camino lets them out.
4th and 14, and they get it on a big hookup to Jimenez, number 7. And he got loose on a deep down and out.
Yep. That's exactly what has happened in the past, and El Camino has let them out of the hole.
And it's 1st and goal, Chatsworth. Now they can go back to the power game.
They will, and that's exactly what they'll do down here.
On is in the backfield with Lopez. Whistle stops play.
Infraction on the offense, 12 men on the field, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Hurts Chatsworth. It has not been a clean game for either side.
Mistakes on both sides, but the biggest mistakes, of course, are the El Camino special teams. And that big play right there, that reception.
What a great throw. You know, all night long we were wondering about the aerial game. And
right.
Could they throw the football with Nicholas Gutierrez? Earlier through when he was picked off, so you're suspect. But that was a beautiful pass.
It was right there, yeah.
On time, and he got it right to Jimenez. Final 43 seconds of the third. Tamian goes outside. Can't turn the corner. He's so quick, though. You got to get over and get him quickly. And Luke Peffer, angling over, made the play.
Saved the touchdown. Again, on as a threat anytime he touches the ball.
Replaced by the other outstanding running back, Kajar. As you take a look at that Peffer play from behind. Peffer's got a heck of a motor. Final seconds of the third. Will they run the play? They do get it off before the end of the quarter. Kajar, does a nice job of tap dancing inside the 5. That's the final play of the third quarter. Kanan is a good-looking football player. There's your score after 3.
Back and forth, Randy. It looks like 25.
We're looking at the scoreboard. We're not sure if it's 25 or 26, and it's difficult because you're matched up when you do graphics on television to the scoreboard. And there's been a few times tonight. You know what? It might be a good idea if you and I throw in a couple bucks and get some light bulbs for this scoreboard.
Yeah, it might be.
So El Camino's got the lead either way, but it could be short-lived.
Chatsworth should just keep it on the ground behind that big offensive line, and they'll probably score.
Well, it's been a 4-quarter game, and we expected that. And we go into the 4th quarter. Ball is at the 4-yard line of El Camino Real. It's 3rd down. Kajar is the deep back. It is Kajar up the middle. He didn't get there. You're right, they're leaning on that big offensive line.
Yeah. They'll go for it here, I'm sure.
No reason not to on 4th down at the 1-yard line.
The El Camino defensive linemen have to get up underneath those offensive linemen and just press them. This is where their leg strength come in. If they can get underneath those guys and just stand them up, they're not really driving it. They're just in the way.
Quarterback sneak. Did he get in? Yes. Touchdown, Chatsworth. So Chatsworth takes the lead. 32-30. So it was 26. Our guys were right.
Will they go for 2 here, or they'll just kick it?
Well, you would think 1 here to get it to 3. On to hold.
Could be a fake with on there.
Grossman to kick. I think you want that point, though. You want to build it to 3. Another flag comes out. Because El Camino does have a good kicking game.
Snap. False start.
Yeah, their kicker can reach that.
5-yard penalty. Replay.
Yeah, so you want to get it to 3 so a field goal doesn't beat you.
But their leg, the kicker is, for El Camino, he's got a good 40-yard leg.
Well, Grossman's PAT now from the 15, so it's a 25-yard point after. Good snap and hold, good kick, and he's got it. It's 33-30. 11 minutes to go. Let's go back to the touchdown, and Gutierrez has scored twice on quarterback sneaks tonight.
Again, as we talked about, you're behind 300 pounds, and 280 pounds, and that's a real strong offensive line. It may be the last team that has the ball wins, Randy.
Could be that kind of game. 33-30. A game that's better than 2 hours old. Still 11 minutes to play. Grossman has it teed up. Wow, pressure again back on the offensive side of El Camino Real.
See if he kicks it out of bounds this time.
Scooped up. Beautiful job by Dominic Jefferson hurtling forward, and another flag comes out late. Too many flags in this one. Other than that, it's been fun to watch, but those flags have stopped the play at times. It's a big call to give El Camino Real great field position.
I didn't see he made the call yet. Did he make the call?
No, he has not. He's writing down notes, though, so this could be a bad penalty on someone here if he's taking down notes on a particular player. Joe has it all sorted out.
Unsportsmanlike. El Camino on the return. 15-yard penalty. First down.
There's really no reason for that. We're thinking they're going to get great field position. Now they retreat, and they're going to have a much longer field. They'll have to start from their 25.
Mistakes, Randy. We talked about mistakes, and they're continuing to make those things. It's the old expression is you go one step forward and two steps back.
How about the other one? I've conquered the enemy, and the enemy is us.
Is us.
We got all the cliches for you on LA36.
Absolutely.
Are you having fun yet?
I'm having a great time. Thank you, Randy.
My pleasure. You'll be with me next week in Woodland Hills at Taft. Sikowski is the motion man. And the ball's on the ground and recovered by Feinberg. And El Camino Real is playing it fast and loose and not well right now. They've lost their concentration in this game.
They're self-destructing is what it looks like if you had to just write the scenario of what they're doing and what's going on.
For the first time tonight, you get the feeling Chatsworth has not only the momentum, but has the game going their way and that they're dominating the line of scrimmage.
El Camino needs a big play to turn that thing around.
Chatsworth looking to go to 6-2 and 2-1 in the league. Second down and long. And Feinberg throwing. Goes underneath. No indication. Now it's ruled no good to Dover. So it's third and long. Chatsworth's made the adjustments.
They have. They've done what they needed to do in the second half. They started to throw the ball, and they opened it up a little bit, and now you're starting to see their defense take control of the field.
This becomes a huge play for El Camino, or they're going to give up field position, and Chatsworth, with their ground game, could start to control the clock. And you can see that we're less than 10 minutes left in this football game. With Paul Zabalik, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. Thrilled you're with us on LA36 in Woodland Hills. Feinberg needs a big play. He sets up the screen. He's not going to get the necessary yardage. Bringing it out was Ermita, but it's fourth down. Chatsworth will give him that.
They kept him underneath, and that's what they needed to do. They didn't give up the big play.
Sarcino was slow to get up. That's why we had a stoppage, and he'll limp off the outstanding defender for Chatsworth. Number 40 is a big-time player.
That's, again, one of those players that you need to have inside. It's been a support to that defense.
He goes out. Isaiah Magana replaces him. Well, it's fourth down and 6. Feinberg's still out there. We'll see if he punts it or throws it. He can do both. This be a roll of the dice here if they don't punt it. Remember, Feinberg's also the punter. And he is going to go for it. It's knocked away. It was intended for Dover. And Chatsworth is held. What a terrific defensive play by the Chatsworth Chancellors. Knocking it out of harm's way for Chatsworth was Fernando Hernandez.
Hernandez broke on the ball, and he was able to just get his hand on it and break it up.
Chatsworth takes over at the 29-yard line of El Camino Real. Now there's pressure on the defense of ECR. They're down 3. A touchdown here would make things mighty difficult for the Royals. And Chatsworth knows it.
Chatsworth should keep it on the ground. They've been very successful running the ball, and they can control the clock with that.
And they pitch it out. Anot running right. Good gain on first down. Jordan Anot.
They got no contain on the outside, and they continue to run it on the edge, and they'll break one of these afternoons, and you'll see the ball in the end zone.
Timeout on the field. Well, the player's dinged up again. It's been a physical contest. There is a player down.
Yeah, they're playing hard, but again, mistakes are what determined the game, and for either team, the mistakes are what made the difference.
Well, there's still a ways to go. Got over 9 minutes left. So Chatsworth set up well here. Coming off the field for the Chancellors was Ethan Martinez, but he appears to be okay. So it's second down and about 4. They're getting chunks of yardage on these runs.
Again, if you look at El Camino's defense, there's no one on the outside, and there's no contain, and he's able to gain about 6 yards and every time he touches the ball.
Kajar. Flag comes out. This one may come back. It would be enough yardage. Great gain and a great burst by number 3, but it was a flag thrown right in the middle of the line.
Holding. 10-yard penalty on the offense. Okay, replay second down.
Nothing kills a drive quicker than a penalty or holding penalty. And both teams have committed those kinds of holding penalties. Again, El Camino can make big plays here and get the ball back and still score.
8.5 minutes left. See if Chatsworth can overcome that infraction.
Got Tommy on the flank here again. They may try to put it up to him.
Yeah, they haven't gotten it to him in the passing game. It's the one area where they have not found number 1. Looking to throw the football. Incomplete. Into and out of the hands of Pablo Sanchez, the senior.
Yeah, the quarterback was looking to go deep and he saw that he was covered, and he was able to throw the release pass.
Third down and 15. These are big plays. Chatsworth has a chance really to put, I don't want to say El Camino away, but they put them in dire straits. If El Camino gets the stop, they're obviously within range with a score to take the lead. So these are huge plays. 3rd and 15. Who will win the down? Pass to the near side. The receiver fell down, and it's incomplete. Chancellor's a little bit unfortunate there as On slipped. He was open.
Yes, he was. And again, that's where they want him to be, a one-on-one on the outside and get a chance to catch the ball and run. My guess is they'll punt here.
Well, they're in that position on the field at the 34-yard line where they could take a shot. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Quarterback is out there, Nicholas Gutierrez.
Look, again, On's got one-on-one coverage on the outside.
With Sikowski. 4th and 15. Incomplete. He targeted Grossman, and the ball goes over on downs, and El Camino's alive.
See, that might be a critical play. If El Camino's able to take the ball now and score, they could have kicked it and at least got it down to the 20-yard line and gained that extra 15 or 20 yards. They'll see what happens.
Shows you that Marvin Street had a little bit more faith in his passing game, though, at this stage of the contest, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, only thrown the ball 3 times, but yet he's going into this deep area for possibly a score.
Well, that's a pensive sideline there. Oh, by the way, Rick Hayashida, we just saw him on the sideline. He used to coach at Chatsworth.
Yes,
in fact,
he did.
Marvin Street took over for him at Chatsworth.
Exactly right.
1st and 10, Royals. And they need to go to work. Down by 5. Sorry, down by 3. Still don't understand that scoreboard at all. Here's an Armita run. Yes, the scoreboard is 33-30. That is right. Armita nets 5.
And again, Armita's a very capable running back. If Spellman's not in there, Armita's the guy.
And it was Spellman. Pardon me. Thought I saw 14. My eyes are betraying me here, Paul.
It is Spellman.
Yeah, it is. He got 5, 2nd and 5.
They could keep it on the ground and keep moving it like that.
Spellman again has room. Can't wiggle free. Appears to be about a yard shy of the necessary yardage. 3rd and 1.
Again, this is something they should do it again and again. I mean, they're getting 4 yards of crack.
Well, that clock, you want to keep a careful eye on it now. It's 6:40 remaining. Chatsworth by 3 at 33-30. Spellman again. He has an easy 1st down. Lumbers into Chatsworth territory, where he's finally dragged down by Ramel Lopez.
Again, you keep driving, you keep running that play inside. They're still running a 3-man front. They're dropping the linebackers again, thinking that Feinberg's going to throw the ball, but they're giving up huge chunks of yardage by Spellman.
They didn't give him a very good spot. It's good enough for the 1st down, but they placed it down right at the 50-yard line. He did get to the 48. But either way, Elko's got the 1st down. They need the score to take the lead. 6 minutes to play. Feinberg with the rollout. Got his man. It's Spellman open in the secondary. Troy Spellman gets 20.
And again, when you see Feinberg starting to run, that starts to draw the linebackers up and it opens up that secondary. Feinberg's a real threat when he has the ball.
El Camino driving it. Beautiful pass by Feinberg on the roll. That little waggle gave him a lot of room to throw the ball.
Right. And again, Spellman's wide open, and he was able to find him.
Beautiful touch on that pass from Ryan Feinberg. Spellman.
Big play.
Now it's El Camino that's winning the line of scrimmage.
Just keep doing what they're doing and they'll score. They got to keep it on the ground. Again, Chatsworth hasn't made any adjustments on their front. They're bringing the linebackers up a little bit. Again, it'll open up that center of the field, that underneath play.
Feinberg back into the huddle, getting the play from the sideline. 1st and 10, ECR. Feinberg into the air. Bueno. A punishing running performance by Bueno. And a flag for taunting on Chatsworth. So this will move it half the distance to the goal.
That was unnecessary. They didn't need to do that.
Unfortunately, taunting on the defense, have the distance to the goal line, first down.
.4:24 left.
You see an excellent straight arm by Bueno, and he was just able to get extra yardage by just making that one play.
Yeah, Darian Wells reacted a little bit too much there, and it cost his team half the distance to the goal. ECR looking for the lead. Bueno in at quarterback. That pitch to Spellman. Close, but not quite in. Not yet.
They'll run it again. That's exactly what they need to do. Run that pitch power.
Closing in on 4 minutes remaining. Second down and goal for ECR. Spellman lost the ball. Still on the ground. Chatsworth recovers. With 3:49 remaining, the Chancellors make the big play defensively.
That was a great play by Chatsworth defense. It was a touchdown, and they just gave up the ball. Just gave it up. Spellman just couldn't hold on to it. He was looking for the hole rather than looking for the ball.
Now it's up to the El Camino defense to try to somehow get the ball back.
Still have plenty of time to do that.
Chatsworth by 3. Good running room. First down. Chatsworth is winning the battle up front. And that last play, so costly. Kajar with a big run moves the sticks.
No question. Again, it's that big offensive line. It's opening up those holes, and it got him out of a bad spot on the goal line.
This would be a mighty disappointing loss for El Camino, wouldn't it? And for Chatsworth, it'd be a huge win. They play Birmingham next week. With a chance to really get heavily involved in the league championship race if they can hold on here. Peffer with a big stop defensively.
El Camino's going to have to use their timeouts.
They can ill afford to give up much more yardage. It's second down and 5. That clock is running. 2.5 minutes to play. Crowd having a great time here, but their football team's in deep trouble. Of course, a lot of things always go on at high school football games. The band's playing, the cheerleaders are going all out. Everyone's having a good time, but there's concern for those men in blue.
Got a big stop here. They got to make a big stop.
Chatsworth still running it effectively, but getting
call a timeout.
Enough yardage to bring up third down and short.
El Camino should have called a timeout.
The time it was a not. In fact, they're going to give them enough yardage for the first down. Great forward progress there. So that was a great spot in a first down, and El Camino's frustrated on defense. Timeout taken, and Chatsworth in a commanding position to run out the clock.
All they need is 2 first downs, and they should be able to run out the clock. Again,
And
keeping
for
it on the
Jason
ground.
Zabalik, this has to be just eating him up inside. He controlled much of this game, but too many mistakes, and his specialty teams betrayed him.
Yep, there's no joy in Mudville.
And that costly fumble when it appeared that they were going to take the lead.
Well, that's why coaches have no hair. They pull it out. It's frustrating.
Frustrating game, but it's a building block process.
It is.
And this will drop El Camino. They were up to 24 in the city rankings. This loss will damage their rankings. They still figure to go into Division I, but they could fall all the way to Division II, I guess. But they're going to have to beat Taft next week if they want to get in the playoffs.
No guarantees in any of this.
Flag comes out. They hold on to A knot. El Camino got to tackle for the football. Got to try to force a turnover.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
We talked a lot about the El Camino mistakes, but Marvin Street's going to talk to his team about cleaning some things up as well.
Well, they do. Again, both teams are not executing the way they should, and it shows because now you've got mistakes, and the team with the fewest mistakes will win the game.
Inside of 2 minutes to play. Will El Camino Real get the ball back? How's your math? I'm not exactly sure how to break it down. The scoreboard, it's hard to tell how many timeouts are remaining for El Camino.
Depends on where they got the spot. They're giving the spot at the first down. I thought they had a penalty.
Now, there's been some strange spots on this drive showing 2nd down and 11.
They should hold them and then call a timeout.
Hand off.
Timeout.
Not a whole lot there. Coach Zabalik doing it from upstairs. Screaming for the timeout and got it.
They should have about a minute on the clock if they get the ball back. But they probably won't have any timeouts left. So they're going to have to take it down the field and just throw control passes into the sideline.
Well, they do have the luxury of having a good kicker. They have 2 good kickers as the band continues to play on senior night. It's been a long football game.
It has been. But an interesting football game, Randy, because of all the things that went on.
It's been better than 2.5 hours, and they're still having a lot of fun at El Camino Real Field.
They need a big stop here. 3rd down.
Third down play. This is perhaps the ball game for El Camino. There's life in Woodland Hills if they can get the stop. Good leg drive here.
Depends where the spot is.
Would you dare go for it if you come up a little bit short?
Oh, they're going to go for it.
If it's a first down, the game will be over for all intents and purposes.
Penalty.
Face mask. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It is a first down. Well, you got it with the face mask, and that's going to be the ball game. All they have to do is kneel down.
Yes, that's it.
All Chatsworth has to do is handle the football cleanly. And kneel down, and they'll get out of El Camino with a 33-30 victory. An unusual game, to say the least. El Camino's going to fall to 1-1 in West Valley League play. Chatsworth will go to 2-1. It's the first kneel down. Well, this is a game you thought El Camino was going to win all along, and suddenly Chatsworth muscled their way in this fourth quarter, controlled the line of scrimmage. And El Camino made enough mistakes where Chatsworth was able to come in here and steal the game.
Well, of those 33 points, 21 were scored on special teams errors by El Camino.
Tommy on with a great performance in the first half with 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Bad snap for a punt.
Another kneel down. Final 30 seconds. They can start congratulating one another. Chatsworth jumping for joy as the visitor has come in here, and I would say this is an upset. But it's a great win for Chatsworth, who goes to 6-2, 2-1. El Camino falls to 1-6 and 1-1. Disappointment for the Royals on senior night.
Well, again, we talked about the problems, we talked about the penalties, we talked about the special teams, and it all boils down to mistakes, and the team with the least mistakes won the game, Randy, as you described it.
Well, there was some shining performance on both sides, big plays. You know, I feel bad for Troy Spellman, who didn't handle that toss from Bueno cleanly, because Spellman had another great game prior to that.
He did. Again, you know, it was mistakes and errors. You can't get those back. Once you've made them, it's the mistake can't be recovered. So,
but give Chatsworth credit. They came in here and they fought hard throughout.
And it's never a foregone conclusion, regardless of when you're playing. It's the ball bounces funny, and that's why they play the game.
I got some highlights before we say good night to you, and obviously we had a lot of highlights here. And touchdowns, 3 kickoff returns for scores. There's the strength of that line just bullying their way in. Here's that return by Jefferson, a convenient hop, and he brought it back for a kickoff return and a touchdown. You thought at that point El Camino had seized not only the momentum, but maybe the ball game, but Chatsworth the rest of the way controlled the game.
Yeah, it was hard to recover from those mistakes, Randy. Hard to recover. And that fumble by Spellman down in the end zone was the bad part.
And Gutierrez with 1 of 2 quarterback sneaks for scores. Well, that's going to do it. Gutierrez had 2 touchdowns, as we noted. And Chatsworth stuns El Camino Real 33-30. Paul, a final thought.
No, Randy, we talked about this, and El Camino's got some work to do. They've got players that can do the job. Just make mistakes and fix them, correct them for next week.
Well, that'll wrap it up. We want to thank our entire LA36 crew for a job well done. Congratulations to Chatsworth, spoiling senior night for El Camino Real, winning 33-30. For Paul Zabalik, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. So long for now. We'll talk to you next week from Taft when the Toreadors and the Royals play. Till then, good night on LA36.